This is John Locke, and I want to address a question that I saw on Reddit yesterday, and this was in the SEO channel, and they were talking about how fast does your site need to be, or what role does speed play in your website. So for those who are wondering what that means, it's basically how fast does a web page on your website get downloaded. So how important is speed? Here's the thing. We've talked about it in a previous video, how site speed affects your SEO. But from what I've seen, as fast as you need to be is fast enough to be faster than your competitors in your niche. So if you are in aerospace manufacturing, your website should download faster than all the other top websites in aerospace manufacturing. If you are in a field, let's say, and we'll just make this up, we'll say that you're in like accounting, and we'll say that all the accounting websites download really slow, they're all on really poor hosting, there's a lot of code inefficiencies. Your site only needs to be fast enough to beat the fastest of them to do well in SEO. Google kind of places websites in different categories, so as long as you're beating your competitors, that's good. That said, I do believe that having a fast website is going to improve the customer experience of your site. It's going to improve the user experience of your site, and it's going to make people want to be on your site longer. So if your site is taking like 5 or 6 or 7 seconds to load a page, that's not good. That's not good, my friends. And what you should do is take a look at a couple areas. The most important thing that seems to affect SEO, from what the studies have shown, is a metric called time to first byte. Now, if you go into Chrome and you right click the page, you open the DevTools, and you click on a tab called Network in Chrome DevTools, and then load your page, you'll notice that there are a bunch of files loading. Those are all the files that it takes to make up your page. So if you click on the very first one, it should be your domain name. And then you'll see there are some like graphs showing how long it took to look up your domain name, the DNS records, and then a metric TTFB, which is time to first byte. That, if it is somewhat low, that's a good sign. So generally what you should aim for is, below 300 seconds. But there's not a lot that you can do at your level. It's going to come down to your hosting. I've seen sites where they were on really poor cPanel hosting, and we moved them over to a good host, something like Kinsta, something like WP Engine, and that time to first byte decreased rapidly. And it helped their SEO, I believe. Second thing that you should look at when it comes to site speed is code inefficiencies. Now, if you have a template that you bought from somewhere like Theme Forest or Envato, and chances are that your site is very bloated. Now, these templates are very popular because they let people kind of do it themselves, or it allows web agencies to do a lot of drag and drop building. The problem is these things get loaded down with everything and the kitchen sink. They're Swiss Army knife themes, and all those components are loading on every page. So that's one thing to look at. Get with a web developer, have them take a look and evaluate your website, and especially the speed. But the last and most important component of speed is your hosting. If you are on $5 a month hosting or $10 a month hosting, I can almost guarantee you right now that your site speed is going to be very poor, because A lot of these hosts, what they do is they have a area called a server, which they cram up with as many websites as it can possibly hold, and you are sharing server resources with every other website on that server. This is how they're able to sell web hosting for $5 or $10 a month. So like I said, get with a good hosting company. I can give you a list of ones that I recommend, that I work with, that have good time to first byte, that load quickly. Most sites that are WordPress, you're going to want to host where it doesn't have a cPanel, where the email and all those functions are kept separate, and the website is in one area, and then your email is run through a separate thing like G Suite or Microsoft 365 that handles the email for you. But to the original question on Reddit, how important is site speed? It's less important than the content on the page. It's less important than the links coming in, but you do need to be able to beat the other competitors in your space. When it comes to whatever field you're in, if they have a better time to first byte, and if the total pages have less code inefficiencies, and if their pages are loading faster, then if all other things are equal, you're going to rank below them. I think most SEOs agree that if you can improve the speed, that's good, but it's not a substitute for not having the proper content on the page or not building up your link profile. But it's something that you must have if you are in a competitive field. If you only have like 2 or 3 competitors, you might get by with having a slow site. If you are in a very competitive field, then a fast site is something that you absolutely must have. Hope that answers that question a little bit better. This is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. We help manufacturing and industrial companies with SEO so they get more requests for quotes. If you have an SEO question you'd like to see us answer, drop it in comments below. We'll answer it out in a future video. Until next time, peace.